Hi, welcome to the galley. And in the galley today, egg rolls. And they're not just any egg rolls. We're taking these egg rolls all the way to Ireland because I'm using my leftover corned beef and cabbage to make egg rolls with. It is like this most delicious Reuben on the inside and crispy, crunchy on the outside. And of course, we need some Russian dressing to dip them in. So don't go anywhere because we're making corned beef and cabbage egg rolls today, and you don't want to miss them. So what you're going to need is some large egg roll wrappers, and these are normally found in the produce department at the grocery store. So if you go looking for them, that's where you can find them. I've got my corned beef and cabbage that's left over, and if I can open it, I'm going to separate my corned beef, my cabbage, and some carrots. I'm not going to do the potatoes, although certainly feel free to if you would like to, but I'm not going to do that for the egg rolls. And I'm going to show you two different ways to fry. I've got this little fryer that I just love that's really compact and easy to use. But if you don't happen to have a deep fryer or something like that, you can still do it in a skillet, and it doesn't take a whole lot of oil. You don't have to completely submerge these to cook them. And of course, Russian dressing, because we want that Russian dressing to dip these egg rolls in. And that we kind of need to do first. So let's get started on our Russian dressing. Up first, I want to get the Russian dressing made and get this in the refrigerator. If it can sit 3 to 4 hours, it's really helpful to it. I think it tastes a lot better, and preferably overnight. But we'll get our Russian dressing made in the refrigerator, and then we can get on with our egg rolls. And you're going to need a cup of mayonnaise, horseradish, Worcestershire, ketchup, some lemon juice, and some relish. And I'm going to chop up some of my homemade bread and butter pickles, shallot, and hot sauce. And for that 1 cup of mayonnaise, I'm going to go ahead just real quick make my mayonnaise. But if you don't want to make your mayonnaise and have store-bought, that's absolutely fine. And if you have one of these blenders where you can put the blender in your cup, it makes making mayonnaise so simple, and you don't have to do the food processor and slowly add your oil in. You just everything can just go for it. So I've got 1 egg. Woo! A little more than 1 tablespoon of red wine vinegar. I'm going to do about a teaspoon of lemon juice. And you really need this lemon juice. It really helps with the taste and lighten and brighten it up. And 1 tablespoon of Dijon mustard. I don't have any Dijon, but I have stone ground, and I'm going to go with stone ground. And I'm okay with that because I think we want this Russian dressing to have a little kick to it. So that's going to give us a little kick. And then 1 cup of oil. And you want to use a neutral oil here, canola, vegetable. I'm using avocado because avocado doesn't impart a lot of flavor in it, and it's really good for you. If you do 1 cup of avocado of olive oil, your mayonnaise is going to taste just like olive oil. That's pretty much all you'll taste. Now, the beauty thing about this is you want to start your blender. You want to count to 20 before you start moving it. So put your blender on, count to 20, and then we'll start moving it. And you can see it form mayonnaise. So after I counted to 20, then I can start moving my stick blender up and down. And then we're going to go with some horseradish and 4 teaspoons of horseradish. If you don't want that big a kick, then maybe only do 2 teaspoons of your horseradish. I like the horseradish that's not with the mayonnaise, is the horseradish that's in kept cold, and it's normally with like the cheeses, the sliced cheeses and cheese blocks. It's just a nicer, fresher product. So I'm going to go 4 teaspoons of my horseradish, 1/4 cup of ketchup. And if you do like it a little more spicy, you can substitute, oh, sorry about that. You can substitute chili sauce for your ketchup. I want to squeeze the other half of that lemon that I made that mayonnaise with. Worcestershire, I'm just going to give it about a teaspoon of Worcestershire. Hot sauce, which is, eyeball that, a few drops. 1 tablespoon of finely diced shallots. And then I'm just going to dice up these pickles. I set them out on a paper towel so they could drain. And if you want dill, you can absolutely do dill pickles here. And then you just want to mix this up really well. And this is going to make a beautiful dipping sauce. Of course, we always want to do salt and pepper. Then we'll give that a taste. Well, I'm going to do just a hit of salt, and we're going to pop this in the refrigerator, and then we'll get started with our egg rolls. So as thin as you can, slice your corned beef, and you can remove that bit of fat there. And then you want to very, very finely dice your corned beef. And then your cabbage, you want to do the exact same, finely diced. I did some carrots as well. I decided I didn't want to do the potatoes, but if you want to do the potatoes, you absolutely can. And I just finely diced that cabbage. And the same with the carrots, you just want to do a fine dice. Because you want this, when you take a bite, you don't want big hunks of anything. You want to be like a regular, real egg roll where everything is chopped up in it and finely diced. So then you have it in your bowl. So I added some stone ground mustard. You can do Dijon or stone ground, but I think it helps add some moisture to this mixture, and it helps add some flavor because that Dijon goes so great with that corned beef and that cabbage. So I've added some mustard. I'm going to get that mixed up, and then we can start rolling. And when you roll, you want to put your egg roll wrapper so the point is pointing to your stomach. You don't want it squared off. You want it at a point. And then you're going to put your mixture in the center, and I would say a tablespoon, a good heaping tablespoon, maybe a heaping tablespoon and a half. And then your point's going to come over, and you want to tuck it. And then flatten down your side. Roll that over. Flatten down your side. Roll that over. And then right at the end, you want to just brush just a little bit of water, and that will help adhere it. See? Perfect little egg roll. All right, let's show you one more. So you've got your point to you. You got your filling. Point over. Flatten down your side. Side over. flatten down your side over, and then roll and tuck and roll. It's like the tuck and roll and just a little bit of water on the end. There you have it, an egg roll. So let me roll a couple of these up and then we can start frying. I have two different methods to show you how you can cook your egg rolls. So this is a little mini fryer that I just love because it's got this lid that folds up and you can drain on here. It's got a thermometer built in that comes out and gets stored in there. We don't do a whole lot of frying, but when we do, it's nice to have this little system, and I can put this on the grill as well, so it makes it really nice. But if you don't have a deep fryer, you can absolutely do these in your air fryer. We don't have an air fryer, but we're talking about getting one. But as of now, I don't have one. So I have this, or you can just do a skillet. And I've got peanut oil in both of these. I like to fry in peanut oil. It's a nice, clean oil to fry in, and it has the smoke point that you need. And what you're really looking for here temp wise is you want your oil at about 350 to 375. I like to edge up to that 375 because once you put food in it, it drops that temperature down to about 350 where you want it. Now this one has a nice little indicator in it, and it tells me when this oil is ready. But I'm going to use this for my pan here and see what temperature our pan is at. And we are ready. We're good to go on that one. Now this is going to go fast, and use your tongs to place your egg roll in the oil. And this is going to go just a couple minutes per side. We'll do 3 this way. And then I'll drop one in my oil over here. I think it could be just a little hotter. There it goes. You can see it start to float, and you know that your oil's hot enough. And you can see it brown, and once you see it brown, just give it a flip. Now I have a plate here with some paper towels, or you could use coffee filters. And you can see these aren't cooking as fast because this heat wasn't as hot as this one. And when you get brown on the other side, and I think we'll keep working with this one since it seems to be the one that's hotter. We'll keep an eye on this one over here. But you can see it certainly doesn't take long to cook them. And then when just cooking these egg rolls, I will strain this oil and reuse it. There's absolutely no reason to use it once and throw it out. You can absolutely use it again and again. And I'm going to pop that up there. You can see how I have that little lid there. You see that lid where I can set them up on. So of course, anytime you're frying, especially if you have little kids, I don't know if you can see, but I've got the handle of my pan pointing away. You never want your handles pointing out here where somebody could walk by and hit it and knock this hot oil off on them. So always make sure your handles are inside your stove and not out where somebody could accidentally knock them over. Not even somebody coming by, but you could do it yourself. So our Russian dressings in the refrigerator, we're going to get that out so we can taste these beautiful egg rolls. So I finished frying these egg rolls. Take a moment if you don't mind. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and give us a thumbs up, please. It sure is appreciated. If you have any comments or any questions, feel free to leave them for me. So I want to apologize if the sound is not good. In between moving the camera, I broke my microphone. So I'm going to try to talk loud so it sounds okay. So to plate these, I like to do a bowl in the center. And because a lot of times these things are slippery, I just like to do a little damp paper towel and sit that on there, and then it won't go anywhere. So we're going to put our Russian dressing in there. That we let sit, not nearly long enough, but it's still going to be good. And make sure that's mixed up well. And then I'm just going to surround it with my egg rolls. And doesn't that look beautiful? But of course now comes the best part, and that is the tasting. I promise I won't double dip. It's so delicious. It's like having a Reuben sandwich with a crispy crust outside. So delicious. Of course, it has all of those flavors that we love from our corned beef and cabbage. And you can definitely taste the stone ground mustard I put in there. And it's just warm and lovely. And that egg roll wrapper is crispy. And you get a little bit of that horseradish, a little bit of bite from that Russian dressing. It's delicious. So delicious. So I hope if you have leftover corned beef and cabbage that you decide to make egg rolls and surprise your family with them. They're going to love them. You're going to love them. Thanks for being with me today. And until next time, safe cruising.